All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video from the Outdoorsman's Garage YouTube channel, and welcome back to another Bullshittin with Big Mac. It's been a long time since we've done one of these videos. I'll tell you the truth, I haven't done one in a while because I haven't really found anything I really needed to rant about or even talk about in a video. But this was too good to pass up. Okay, so yesterday was Easter, and many households, including mine, celebrated Easter with a family get-together for dinner. Wow, mini bike. Hood rats just drive those things around everywhere. But, and they drive them with no helmet. I don't get it. And that takes a lot of balls, especially when you're doing it right past a cop. But I've seen that many times. They just drive right past the cops in traffic with no helmet on at night with no lights, and they get away with that. But anyway, we're getting off track here. Okay, so as I was saying, yesterday was Easter. You know, we had a family get together at my house for dinner. My in-laws came over. My goodness. Do you have one of those people in either your family or your spouse's family? I mean, of course everybody has one of these people. But have you ever sat down at the table with them and listened to them talk? This individual said two things to me that made me really want to laugh in his face. Number one, he said that, he's talking about engine rebuilds, okay? He's probably never rebuilt an engine in his life. And he's going to tell me about engine rebuilds. He told me some mechanic friends of his said, he's talking about, replacing the rings in an engine. I tried to explain it to him that if you replace the rings in an engine, if you tear it down that far, you might as well get a rebuild kit and replace everything that needs to be replaced. All the bearings, the main bearings, the front and rear main seal, all the gaskets, everything. You might as well do that. You got it tore down. This fool tried to tell me about rubber piston rings. Has anyone ever seen an engine with rubber piston rings? I told that guy, look, not even lawn equipment has rubber piston rings. I said, are you talking about the piston rings in that Jeep you drive? Because, it is Mopar. It's possible, but I very seriously doubt it. You're not going to find rubber piston rings. And then he went on to say about doing an engine swap, you automatically have to change the transmission. I've never done that. Ever. I told him, I said, do you even realize how many junkyard engine swaps there are driving around on the road? My case in point is the 2007 Saturn Vue that my wife used to drive that my daughter now drives, okay? That vehicle had 300,000 miles on it, and finally the engine let go. Well, we did a junkyard engine swap on it. Now, we didn't change the transmission, and she's still driving it. She's probably put 50 or 60,000 miles on that thing since we did that swap. I tried to tell him, no, you don't need to do that. Now, maybe with some of those transmissions that are closed systems, maybe, I don't know. I've never done an engine swap on any of those type of vehicles that had the throwaway transmission where it's not serviceable. You can't put transmission fluid in it. You can't do anything to it. You can't change the filter or anything. But I mean, he said, oh, well, his mechanic friends told him all about, all that stuff. And I said, well, I'd like to meet your mechanic friends because I'd like to tell them that they're hacks for mechanics for telling you that shit, first of all. And second, what kind of work are they doing to people's vehicles? I could not contain the laughter. I had to laugh in his face. How in the hell are you going to tell me any of that? Because he was talking about my truck. Okay, currently, I'm looking at the odometer right now. My truck has 160,158,000 miles on it. Okay? There's nothing wrong with this engine. It starts when I want it to start. It doesn't have any problems, at all. I mean, it leaks a little bit from the rear main seal. And I guess that's what brought up his bullshit he was trying to feed me. I told him, I don't really want to pull this engine to just do the rear main seal. I would like to do a complete rebuild and just, swap out all the gaskets and seals and bearings and all that stuff. Because if I'm going to tear it down to the point where I got to take pistons out of the engine, might as well replace it all, right? Makes sense to me. This fool tried to tell me you don't have to tear down a complete engine to take it out. I said, well, how do you suggest I do that? Do you, jack it up, get underneath, take the oil pan off, which there's hardly any room under there to do that. I can do it. I did it to replace the oil pump that was in it when I first bought it. It was pumping the oil. It was just very weak. So I replaced it and it's fine. I've been driving it 2 years, never had any problems with it ever since, right? He tried to tell me that you could just take the oil pan off and do everything from underneath. Well, I suppose you could if you had a lift, but you're not going to put this truck, this 1-ton long bed crew cab, on a lift. I know a mechanic right now that told me it's not possible to put something this big on a lift. Now, I'm sure that they make lifts big enough to do it, but the mechanics I know don't have them in their shops. So the only way that I'd be able to do that is to pull the engine, and if I'm going to do that, I'm going to tear it completely down. But I just told him, I said, look, I'm just going to keep putting oil in it if it needs it, and I'm going to keep driving it. Eventually, I'm either going to put a crate motor in it, or I'm just going to rebuild the engine that's in there. And that's probably what started his bullshit. But getting back to the question at hand, you guys have somebody like that in your family or your spouse's family? Let me know. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. All right. I guess that's enough. I just figured I'd let you guys know how my day went yesterday during a holiday dinner, a family holiday dinner. This is the reason I've been telling my wife for years, I just want to do holidays with just her and I and our kids. That's it. Nobody else. It'd be less conversations like this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We love you. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to not miss any content like this, because if you don't subscribe right now, do it. You'll miss a lot of our content.